Welcome to the Whitetail Obsession Podcast with Dave Richmond and co-host Chris Worthing, where we talk and teach everything deer and turkey hunting related. Follow along as we help teach you tips and techniques about hunting, food plots, and habitat management strategies that everyone can use.
Episode 63.
Yeah. You going to wing it or what?
Let's talk turkey. We're going to wing it. Turkey
Let's wing it. Yeah,
We're
turkey
going to
wing.
wing it.
That's right. Turkey wing.
Leave that in.
I am.
Okay.
We're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
We're talking turkey today.
Turkey talk. Chris is going to start us up. You might need a little practice.
Yeah. That's why I never kill none.
Do a gobble. Make a gobble.
I cannot.
Come on, make a gobble.
I don't know how.
I don't either. I suck at calling.
Yeah.
Although I still manage to kill her.
Yeah, I know. That's what I wanted to talk about. Like, how do a couple of guys that suck at calling so bad, how do we kill anything?
Hey, when I go turkey hunting, literally all I do is yelp.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Not all the time, but I mean, that's your call.
No, well, yeah, that's my
your
call.
go-to call, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not really a major turkey hunter, and I do enjoy it getting out there early morning, hearing birds chirping and turkeys gobbling and stuff, but I'm not really a big turkey hunter, but I kill one pretty much every year, and all I do is yelp.
Yeah.
Rarely use decoys. Maybe just like a hen or something, but I don't know. I kill them.
You see all these shows where everybody's putting out a spread of decoys.
Mm-hmm.
I've had more bad luck putting decoys out in Pennsylvania than I've had good.
I have too.
I've literally had turkeys just hang up and look at them and never come in. They just turn around and walk away.
Yeah. I've had a few different experiences. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I just like you said, Pennsylvania. I've had zero luck with decoys.
They are so pressured in PA, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be that. I've tried a Jake. I've tried a hen and a Jake. I've tried a Tom, strutting.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like the easiest you can get away with is just a hen. Like that's not really going to spook anything, but they hang up. And if I don't use a decoy, they just come right in.
Yeah.
But if I go to Kentucky, when I hunted down there, they came to a decoy like it was on a string.
That's crazy.
And when I hunted Maryland, a few years, well, probably 7 or 8 years ago, I had a place in Montgomery County. I had a Jake and a hen, and this gobbler came to this thing and he was fanning. Like I have a video of on YouTube channel from like 6 years ago. He's sitting there fanning and he attacks the decoy, right? When I went to New York hunting with them guys, they hunted with just a fan, just a single fan that they made this post on it and they like glued it to the fan spaced out, and they would just stick it in the ground. These turkeys came to this thing like they were so fired up.
See, I don't even you can't even do that in PA now, I don't think.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
Yeah. You can just use a decoy, but I don't think you're allowed to use any real like parts of an animal.
Yeah, maybe if somebody knows for sure, they can let us know. But
yeah, especially that fanning stuff like you're talking about, like, or what was that? Is that what it's called? Fanning? When people are
I'm just
behind it.
Well, yeah.
Especially
I'm talking.
That's definitely illegal in PA.
Yeah, I was just referring to an actual turkey fan.
Yeah, I would like to be able to do that, but I don't think you're allowed.
Right. We have to look into it because I don't know. I don't use it, but like I said, hen. Right, hens or hen decoy. I mean, at the new farm last year.
Yeah.
I had 3 of them just come right in. I mean, all I was doing was yelping. They would gobble, I yelped.
Yeah.
They gobbled, I yelped. They gobbled, and they just worked their way in, and I was able to. I got that on partial video.
Well,
but
I usually set up first thing in the morning. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we'll just roll right into it here. Well,
Yeah. Go.
this is where I go. When I get up early, I usually head up and I usually get set up somewhere stationary where I know they're roosting, obviously, and I have a turkey seat that I bring with me. It's real low to the ground. You can buy them at Walmart, $15.
Does yours like
There's
fold out?
webbing.
Like the two things fold
The two
out and then
legs
it's
fold
webbing?
out. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
webbing.
I got
Yep.
the same one.
Yeah, I like that little thing.
Yeah, it's
So I
comfy.
usually take that and I sit on it, and I usually have a moth call in when I leave the car because it seems like they work better moist. So I always throw the moth call in as soon as I get out of the car and walking into the woods. Get that moistened up. I got a moth call in, and my two go-to calls. I've got a Quaker Boy slate, and I've got mm, I think it's a Smith's sweet butternut box call.
Say rhododendron 3 times.
No, so those are my go-tos, man. And it's if I'm running and gunning, usually I'm working the box call,
Mm-hmm.
before get up and move or whatever. But yeah, that'll be my long distance call because it's got a nice raspy
Yeah.
but yet
I I have
high
one too.
pitch.
Yeah, I use one as well.
But
But it's
I don't
just
know.
mainly just yelp. I
Yeah,
do it real, loud. I don't use a crow call. I know you have one. You used
yeah,
it a couple
I will
times.
shock gobble them sometimes if
Yeah.
I'm running and gunning to see if they'll
Right.
answer. Um, I had a say this 3 times quick pileated woodpecker
Mm-hmm.
call. Um, I've had that out in the woods before, and every once in a while you'll get one to raise up and gobble at it. But
You know
the
what's funny about that?
crow call is pretty good.
Say it again. What
I
kind of
can't.
woodpecker?
I don't know if it's pilated or pileated.
So I've heard so many names on them.
I know.
I
I
It's either
Red-headed
palliated,
woodpecker.
yeah, palliated.
Pileated.
I've heard pleated,
Yeah, I've heard
and
so
then
many.
what you just said, I've heard that too. So that's three different things that we
Yeah,
just called this daggone woodpecker,
it's a
and
woodpecker.
they're a foot tall, man. They'll kill
Yeah,
you.
yeah, they're huge. They're
They're cool as
huge.
heck. You'll hear them boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
They're just pecking away, but
man, they have a high pitched scream, like
yeah,
squeal, when they call
hmm,
back and forth.
yep,
And yeah, when I run and gun, I use a variety of things. But I like I said, I usually sit down with a moth call in, and I try to use the moth call the most.
that's what I do. Yeah,
Once I get situated, that way I'm not making a bunch of movement. And if if they answer the moth call, I just keep using it. And you know, if they totally shut down, well, then I'll try a different call. But as you were saying earlier, when you call to them and they call back, if you get them working them back and forth, if you shut off and just keep quiet, then they'll come to you a
hmm,
lot of times,
yeah,
and hopefully they close the distance um, close enough to you.
hmm.
So
Well, yeah.
go ahead. So
Well,
so our that's basically how I set up. Now, last year I had a bad experience. There was a vehicle parked where I park normally, and what's the chances of me going out and sitting down on a couple of birds and these guys being to my left, like 50 yards,
he faked
and
you out. He tricked you.
never knew it.
He
Never
beat you
knew
to
he
it.
was there.
He beat you to it.
They did. I say they because there was three of them.
Mm,
I didn't know that. I didn't even know there was one.
yeah.
But the
I
birds
don't.
started to gobble on the roost,
Yeah.
and I heard something to my left go off. It sounded like a hen, and he did a bang up job, man. It sounded like a hen, calling back to the gobbler, but it was really a dude, three dudes, as a matter of fact.
Hmm. I
But
don't
they
hunt.
they spooked the birds.
Yeah, it happens on public. I don't hunt public land turkeys. I think in Maryland, you actually have to get a permit to turkey hunt on
Oh,
public land. It's like these special permits you have to get for turkeys.
Hmm.
I do
Now, is
not
that
hunt.
the same public tag I had to get for the Sika deer?
Yeah, it's the same. No, yeah, you use that tag, but
Use that,
you have to go through that specific public land.
but I mean, I had to get a public land tag. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
It's free,
that's not
but
it.
oh, it's
That's
not
not it.
it. Okay, it's different.
There's a different turkey tag to
Okay,
uh, specifically hunt turkeys.
all right,
In
gotcha.
the majority of the public land. Some of there's like a few of them you can go to, but they get swarmed, and it wouldn't even be worth it to honestly hunt the public
I
land.
hate all the weird rules.
Yeah.
Why can't you just buy your tag over the counter? Just say, "Give me everything you got. Here's my
Hmm.
money," and
Yep.
then just go hunt. Why can't you do
Yeah.
that? Why does there have to be all this? Like, my mind was totally blown last year when I went to New York for bear and bucks, and then I came down there for Sika, and then come home and was hunting PA. Like, there ain't none of them got the same rules.
Nope. All different.
My head was spinning
You got to be careful because
because I was in a
the
different state every week, and I was like all
yep.
state of confusion, more like it.
You got to be careful. After I think it was after we got back from Sika, maybe, or might have been before. But I was in on a public land on Sunday, and in Maryland you can't hunt on Sundays. Um, so especially on public, some private spots you can, but public land you cannot. Well, when I got there, I was getting my bike out. I was doing scouting, and this guy pulled up from Ohio, and I ended up started talking to him. He was getting ready to go deer hunt. I
Oh,
was like, dude, you can't deer hunt today. I was like, it's Sunday. He's like, what do you mean? I said, you can't hunt on Maryland on public land on Sundays. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. Like he didn't know because in Ohio you can.
yeah.
So here he's coming to Maryland and he doesn't know the rules.
Oh
I mean,
boy.
that's on him, but
Yeah.
you really gotta pay attention to all that stuff.
I'll see.
There's
I'll see.
a lot of different rules. Um, but turkeys, let's talk about a little bit on how to attract them on obviously it's going to be private land, but maybe we reference maybe the old farm. I could talk a little bit about the new farm. Um, and you have turkeys too at
Yeah, I have
it-
some, and
yeah,
they come and go. I mean, they're
right.
so spotty.
Hmm.
But it seems like the year that I had all the grain in, I had winter wheat and winter rye out. I put it in the fall, and in the spring, when that took off, it seemed like I had a lot of birds getting into that um, early in the spring, and then in the summer, like after they had their poults and the stuff grew up like 2-3 feet. Oh my gosh, they were in there like fleas.
Hmm.
The turkeys were in there and they were jumping up and getting the seed heads.
Yep.
It was fun to watch. Had a
Yeah.
bunch of trail camera pictures of them. You know,
Well, you remember the first year we hunted the farm and we thought we were going to be big shots and shoot some birds and we never even saw one.
never.
Um, and then we ended up doing the work and everything. And then each year after that, the turkeys were, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it was real fun because we were covered up in them.
Yeah, it was
And
fun.
I made some killer content videos on turkey hunt. Of course,
Yeah,
turkey hunting videos kind of flop.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But really, I mean, on turkeys, like, anything that you can plant that's green and growing, whether like you said, wheat or rye or that clover plot we had, the turkeys, man, they go in there in the early mornings and it's not necessarily to eat the clover, which they do. But what
right.
happens is you get that dew on there on the plants early morning. Sun comes out, starts baking it off. You get the dew, and the bugs get in there. So the
Yeah,
turkeys go in there, they bug around, they feed on the clover
right.
and all that, and that's a great attractant. And
Yeah,
I I learned up how to turkey hunt from MPA or New York from these guys. Um, they owned a turkey call business, and they sell turkey calls and everything, and we kind of work together. But that's where I learned to turkey hunt, and you know, he did show me a lot with sign, and because at that time, 7 years ago or whatever, I'd literally never turkey hunted.
Mhm.
I had no interest in it whatsoever. But he was showing me the scratchings and how they roosted up in the pine trees, in the winter, when it has like a windbreak and everything, and um, where they roost, and you got to get close to the roost to kill them, and all these different type of stuff, and um, we kind of had that at the old farm with some there were some pines there they did roost in, they roosted off that edge on that
Mhm.
ridge,
Yep.
and they
Steep
would work.
drop offs.
Yep, they would work their way into our property to the clover, and
Yeah.
um, and that's how we killed them.
Yeah.
And remember we cut the crop open.
Yeah. We had some very good videos. Uh, did you put some on your channel too?
I think I have two of them. Yeah, cutting it
Okay.
open.
Yeah,
Remember
we
that's
had.
where I almost sliced my finger off,
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad cut.
and that
Uh,
hurt for a year.
we had some very good video. We were we were dissecting the crop on these turkeys and trying to find out what they were eating.
Hmm.
And to our surprise, a lot of the contents weren't even our food plot. It was like dandelions and uh, there was a couple grubs in one and a lot
Yeah,
of like
spider,
gravelly stuff. You know,
spider. There was a spider in them.
yeah. I mean, we thought it would be full of clover. I
It
mean,
did have
and
some.
one of them did have that one bird was packed up with clover,
Oh, it
but
was packed.
that
Yeah,
other one was almost all dandelion.
and dandelion heads off of it.
Yep,
They were pulling the yellow heads off.
yep. I mean, it was that was an eye opening video, really.
Hmm.
All the all the stuff that they eat.
Yep. Anything
Um,
green and growing, they get in there, they bug around, and
yeah,
you know, all that vegetation and stuff, they scratch, and like you said, grubs uh and all that stuff.
I know one thing. If the landowner hadn't sold that property, that would I don't know who bought it, but if they're not turkey hunting there, they need slapped.
Hmm.
I mean, there was so many up and coming birds there. It was ridiculous.
Yep. Yes, there was.
You know, there was a ton of little ones that had real short beards on them and stuff.
Hmm.
And they loved that field because it was the only thing around.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there were
Yeah.
some bigger farms down the road, but
Yeah, but there was nothing there.
they
There was
they
nothing
were
there for them to. I mean, they had the one field was probably a 5 or 6 acre field, but it was just tall, grasses that fell over, clumped up, and they don't really want to be in that.
no,
Um, so really
no.
that
This was
clover.
prime. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it was the greenest stuff around, and they wanted some of that.
Yep. You can attract them. Just simply like a plowed field. A plowed field where they
They
can get
like
in
fresh
and
dirt. Yeah,
yeah, scratch around, look for worms, and they're just like a chicken. All they do is freaking eat and poop all day.
yeah.
And
Isn't it funny though when you come to PA and you hunt in public? Okay, you're on public land
hunt
and
your own state.
you're out there running and gunning, or maybe you got a spot set up that where you're going, and it's hard to see the birds, or call one in. And then when we were on the private land, here we just plop down a flipping uh I want to call it tent,
It was
pop
a
up
blind
blind.
pop up line.
We just pop up a blind on the edge of a field, and they come right in front of us. I filmed that
Well,
one at like 5 yards.
remember, yeah, remember we were headed there in the morning. Like we were like, okay, we're gonna wake up this time. We'll
Yeah,
leave, and it
we
got daylight
miscalculated.
so fast, and we were literally walking down the hill to the field. I'm carrying we got decoy with the blind, the guns, and as we're walking through the field, they're gobbling. I
Yes.
mean, we were It was
We
like,
were late going
yeah,
in.
and we literally just popped that thing up, and because we were filming and everything, and we set up, and boom, they came right out in front of us.
Yeah.
Couple calls.
I think that was the day you shot your big one. Was
It
that the
was.
day you shot the big one, or did we double
Yes.
up that day on
No,
small ones?
that was the day I shot the big one, and then I think a week later, or no, the following year, I think we doubled up. I
I
think
can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But yeah, they'll have to go back and watch the turkey playlist.
Yep. But I thought I missed when we doubled,
Yeah.
because you said one, two, three, and you shot on two and not threes, and scared my bird. And I had to
One, two,
fire.
bang.
Yeah, I had to fire some shots
Some,
at it.
some haymakers.
Yeah, but I ended up getting it. But
But yeah, there was some good times had there. I mean, the birds were real responsive. And that's what
well,
I
and
like. I don't it's so hard. I get discouraged turkey hunting. A lot of guys, there's one guy at work, he gets one every year, and like they're so easy to get that he goes out and gets them with his bow,
yeah,
you know? And I mean, I envy that. I would love to be able to do that, but I don't have a spot like that where they
hmm
come often enough, you
yeah, it's
know?
hard to find them where they're not pressured. And turkeys, like, when they respond and they're worked up, it's fun.
Oh, it's a great time when they're participating,
Yeah, when they're
you
because
know?
you can. I mean, that's cool to imitate a bird, a turkey, and call them in. It's because you're reversing nature. Instead of the hen going to the gobbler, the gobbler's coming to the hen.
You're right.
So when you're calling, you're trying to get that tom frustrated and get them to come in, and it's cool when it works. It's super cool when it works out.
Yeah,
When it doesn't work out and they don't respond, it's just one of them days where they're not talking. It's frustrating,
it is.
but
And
that's the way it goes.
I have so many frustrating days compared to victorious days. I mean, there's times that I'm like, I'll be sitting in the woods and I try to stay till noon, you know, but there's some days I'll be sitting there and I'll look at the time and I'll be like, I could be doing other things, and I'll get up and leave.
Hmm.
You know, I've been sitting there 3 4 hours, haven't heard or seen anything. You know, and you can only run and gun so much. I mean, you run out of territory pretty quick or
Plus you're
energy.
plus you're old.
Yeah, well,
So
that's I mean, I run out of energy because where I hunt at, it's all hillside.
yeah, yeah, it's fun
So
though. I definitely enjoy it. I'm not going to go every day. If I get one bird, I'm good. I'll go once or twice
yeah,
a
I
year or
mean
something. And
these guys are buying 2 tags.
right, I'm not into it like
Yeah,
that.
he'll go out and shoot them with a bow first, and then he'll take the shotgun out. And then he'll take a buddy out and shoot one, or his kids, or someone. And it's like, wow, how after you shoot one, how do you even get them to come back in?
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Have you seen all the talk on the internet now, um, where the season is starting so late this year and everybody's complaining?
I hadn't seen that. No.
So the date for Turkey Nat this year is May 4th.
NPA.
Yeah, which is kind of late. Usually it's like, the 28th or 29th or whatever of April, but
Well, I've always
everybody's everybody's complaining that it's starting late and it's harder to kill them later into the
yeah.
season. Everybody's saying it should be, that last week of August, just to make it a little bit easier. But
I've always said that Pennsylvania's spring gobbler started too late
Maryland
because
is April 18th.
see, because we're getting nice warm weather right now, and I guarantee you that those gobblers are out there right now torturing them hens and checking
I,
them out.
Yep.
You know,
When I was walking Sunday on a property, on a client property, they were gobbling their brains out
yeah,
because it was warm.
yeah,
It warmed up and it was a nice day, it's sunny, and they
and
were fired up.
and there's been a few times where I've been around some wardens and we got into some discussions, and I was like, why is PA spring gobbler season so late? Because we get nice weather at the end of February, beginning of March, this time of year. And I actually think some of the breeding gets done in certain areas. I think they're done by the time the season opens up.
Hmm.
And they're just not all that interested after that. You know, they'll respond to calls, but they won't commit
Right.
a lot of times. So, yeah, it's frustrating. Very.
What's what's one thing that you can plant to attract turkeys that deer don't eat?
A deer don't eat.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Chufa.
In the springtime, you get if you've have
Chufa.
yeah if you have leftover stuff though, like if it made it through the winter, if you had any Milo or anything like that, or
Hmm.
barley or stuff like that, you know, they'll come get that.
You can plant chufa and deer don't eat it. So chufa would be like if somebody plants a chufa plot, that would be strictly for
Yeah, for
turkeys.
birds,
Right. That'd be
all
a
birds, really.
yeah. I've never
I,
personally
I've
planted
never
it.
no, I never did
Um,
either. I never targeted
yeah,
that.
I knew a couple guys in actually Pennsylvania that planted it, and out in New York they planted it, and I mean, they swear by it. Um, but deer don't eat it. So if that's somebody strictly wants to track turkeys and and not have a crop where deer don't eat it, it would be chufa.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with it. I don't even. It must have seed head on it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it gets seed heads on it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. But the thing is, you would have to plant it, I guess, in the spring, and then really you'd have to wait till the following year for it to take effect, because it's going to take time to establish and all that, and then after that, it'll be turkey season will be over. Um, so you'll have to wait till the following year to really to use it as an attraction.
Have you ever done any fall hunting?
Nope, never fall
See,
turkey hunter.
me and my buddy used to do that a lot, and we basically run and gun and see if you get a bird to yelp back or something, and if you did, we would walk right into them, run at them, chase them, whatever we had to do, yell at them, and bust them up and call them back in. Now that's a cool thing.
Hmm.
Uh, but the thing is, it's during archery season and stuff, so my priorities are more putting something in the freezer or filming a deer hunt. So I haven't fall hunted in a long time, but we used to specifically target them that way. We would run them down, bust them up, and they scatter, and you sit down right where you scattered them, and you start doing kiki runs, and do a kiki run, and they'll start calling back, and if you just give a nice soft little kiki, they'll one by one they'll start coming back towards where they got busted up,
Say
and
kiki one more time.
kiki run, and you can do very well in the fall.
Hmm.
You're not more than likely you're going to shoot a hen, you know,
Right.
uh, majority of the time. You're
Now, when
probably
I
not.
was with those guys in New York, they would do kiki runs in the morning.
Oh yeah,
That's when they did them. Something I can't, like I said, I don't, I'm not a caller, but they would do it in the morning time when they're on the roost,
huh?
because I think when they fly down, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times they'll do the kiki run is when they're flying down. So I don't 100% know that, but
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
Turkey
keep running.
hunting's secondary to me anymore.
Yeah.
I used to get all wound up about spring gobbler, but anymore I hardly even care to go. I'd rather sleep in now.
I definitely enjoy to go. I just like to go and get out there in the morning, sit there in the dark for a little bit on the ground, listen to all the birds chirping and breaking daylight and hearing the gobbles. That to me is just like that's my relaxed time.
And have a bear approach you with cubs.
Have a bear approach me with cubs and
I've done that
I
twice, and
poke its eye out and wrestle it to the death.
oh no,
So,
no, I get out of there.
are you scared?
Scared I'm gonna have to kill a bear
You're scared. You're gonna kill it with your bare hands.
with my bare hands,
That bear would throw you around
with
like a
my
rag doll.
paws.
He'd throw all 5 feet of you around like a rag doll.
Oh my gosh, yeah. 80-pounder would probably kill me.
Probably.
Bears are ferocious.
They can be. All right, guys.
So, you done talking turkey?
We're done talking turkey.
Gobble on and get us out.
I can't.
Do it.
I can't. You gobble.
Do it, or Biden says you ain't black.
Give me some ice cream. Gobble. Come on, gobble for the audience.
I don't know how.
Come on. You need some practice, son.
Can't do it.
All
Can't
right.
even yelp.
Nah, I might call a turkey in. Just
I've done it before with my mouth, and
get an air horn. Brr. That's what them guys did up in New York, man. They'd take an air
did
horn
they?
with them. Yeah, they would
And they
take an air
gobbled
horn.
at it?
Yes,
Nice.
because it's a shot gobble.
Yeah.
So they would use the air horn to
Right.
locate the birds, and we would go after them.
Nice.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah. Brr. And they would gobble like crazy.
Put it in your pack and sit down against a tree and
Yep.
what the heck?
Yeah, it worked.
Oh boy.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Podcast 63, and that's Turkey Talk. And